just think, if you can practice gratitude where you are, if you can feel completely grateful for where you are, you're already attracting more. But what you're asking for exactly, make sure you're asking through your spirit. Everyone doesn't need access to you. You are enough just simply being. You don't need to give the world everything. It's time for you to also reap the benefits of what you have to give. Hello everyone, welcome to Lena Mystic. Today's video is a healing message for you, a message that is meant for you when it comes to healing. And what is that looking like for us right now during this stage of our life, especially as we enter into a new season? All right, so first we're gonna go ahead and pick out some affirmations. I put 2 affirmation decks together, and I just started, using them as if they're the same deck, and I'm actually pretty happy they're the same size. So let's see what we get. Wow, we got a lot. Okay, we got a lot. So one of them is I am productive. So I don't know if you've been feeling like you're maybe not productive or you're not doing enough. This is a clear sign. Yes, you are doing enough. In fact, you're doing a great job. Everything you're doing right now is working out for your greatest good. So you're putting in enough effort. And if you feel like you have enough energy to put in more effort, go ahead and do that. No one's going to put a cap on what you can do each day. However, just make sure that you're making little steps along the way, at least consistently. If you can't take a big step, take a small step. And that's still going to bring you some massive progress. I am grateful. So continuously saying, I love what I'm doing. I love who I am. I love the people around me. I'm grateful for the people that I have around me. And if you are not vibrating at the same frequency as the people around you, this may be a time for you to look into clearing your own energy through things such as Reiki or just spiritual cleansing tools, Palo Santo, which I don't really use Palo Santo. I know people do. It does work. It's very effective, but it's very, it's in high demand. So I try to use other things. You can use, you can use weed. You can use leaves from a tree. You can use fire. You can use paper to spiritually cleanse yourself. There are a lot of different ways that you can. And I personally don't like buying things that I know are in super high demand. I try not to do that because I just feel like it's an overproduction of it. And that just makes me uneasy because we have unlimited resources on earth, but the more greedy that we are, it can create like an imbalance. And I don't believe in making more than you need or doing more than you need. It's greed. So if you can find another tool that you naturally have in your home, I personally love instruments. I think it's a great way to cleanse energy. Tuning forks, sound bowls, steel tongue drum, rain stick. You can make your own rain stick through toilet paper roll. There's just many ways. There's even plants or sitting on the ground, sitting in the grass. If you don't like mosquitoes, wearing bug spray. I don't like mosquitoes, but you can wear bug spray. Whatever you can do, sit in that cleansing energy so that you can be more grateful for the things in your life, because sometimes the reason why we can't see our blessings and the things that we can learn from the people in our life there's nothing necessarily wrong with them, they're just at a different frequency. And frequency doesn't mean they're below or above, it just means that they're on a different frequency. And if you find yourself in a lot of situations like that, and at one point you did resonate with those people, sometimes cleansing your energy can help you get a clearer mind to see if these are people that you should continue along with, or if these are people that you need a break from, or these people you need to cut off completely. When you cleanse yourself, you can have a lot more clarity. So if you are feeling like you can't figure out what's going on right now, cleansing yourself could be the best thing. Grounding yourself, using cleansing spiritual tools as well, listening to cleansing spiritual music too. So keep that in mind. I don't know why I was led to give that specific message, but I just did, and that's pretty much what my videos are in the first place. So it is what it is. The next message is I work through conflict. So right now, oh wow, I wonder if this message goes hand in hand with what we just were talking about. Maybe you could be clashing heads. Some of us are clashing heads with people in our life. It could be a parent, it could be a best friend, it could be a spouse. It could even be animals. We're clashing heads, we're bumping heads. That's literally what I'm saying, like bumping heads. Like, oh, you're in the way. Oh, you're in the way. Like, that's what it feels like. It just feels like I'm giving you a high five, you're giving me a fist pump type of energy. And it's just like, why are we clashing so much? What's going on? Cleansing can definitely help in this situation. If that person trusts you enough to also spiritually cleanse them, maybe you all can do a spiritual cleansing ritual together, like where you do spiritually cleanse yourselves. You could use sage or whatever we've already discussed. And I like white copal as well. My aunt put me onto it. Loved it ever since. It's such an ethereal smell. I do like to use smoke and fire usually. Incense even. Love incense. Been using them since I was super young. And I just feel like these things can really help you get more in alignment, because not only are you using a spiritual tool to cleanse, you're also using your spiritual tool, which is your mind and your intention and your heart, to cleanse the world around you and within you. So I'm getting a very clear sign. It's definitely time to cleanse yourself. And that makes sense. This is a healing message today. This is a healing message today. Okay, my guides are speaking to me, like literally as we're going through the video. Those of you who haven't been here for a long time, I get messages in that moment. So if you see me like looking around or doing something weird, I'm seeing energy, I'm seeing spirit guides, I'm seeing orbs sometimes. It's just like a lot going on spiritually in my mind, body, and spirit. So it looks a little weird, but we're just attuning to the journey, okay? I'm also getting a clear sign of fall, either fall season or there's a fall, kind of like a and I don't necessarily see the tower moment as a bad thing. I see it as a spiritual awakening, as a shake-up, as a you have to fall to fly type of thing. So it kind of feels like a tower moment, like there's reaching a climax, like going up, 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 up. We're going up, and then we're about to burst. And it's like, what direction is this burst going to lead me to? Where is it going to take me? What is it that I also want at this stage? And sometimes when we are in that Two of Swords, that tower moment, it leads us to wondering what makes us feel happy, because we don't know anymore. It's been a while, and maybe you sacrificed so much and you've given so much to other people on your journey that you've lost yourself and lost purpose, and you've lost significance. And that's just what it appears like for you. But deep down, if you continue to look inside of yourself and you keep nurturing yourself, giving yourself self-love and attention, you're going to find that passion again. In fact, it may not even look the same. It may be even more passionate than you thought it was. It's like, oh, I do know who I am today. Wow. I just wasn't nurturing that side of me. I wasn't feeding that side of me because I thought based off of this culture that it was wrong, or I thought based off of this relationship that I shouldn't do it. It's just these different things that we go on through, especially in adulthood, where we are told things are wrong or not right or not in alignment, or we shouldn't be doing it, or we don't have support in that side of us, so we've neglected it. And for a lot of us, this could be talents that we have. This could be just traits, character traits that we have. It could be a lot of different things. But today is the day that you start looking into yourself to figure out, what is it that I love doing? What is it that my heart naturally wants to do each day or every month? What is it that I used to love, that used to recharge me almost immediately, that I don't do anymore? Let me try it again. I may not be as good at it anymore, but let me try it, because everyone starts somewhere. And sometimes we have to stop things and find it again along our journey. And that doesn't mean that it's any less important to us. It just means that sometimes we lose things and we have to rediscover them to figure out who we are again. Some of us used to dance. Some of us used to eat certain types of foods, but maybe you married into a family that eats different types of food. Like, it's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as certain shoes that you used to be into, but you just don't wear anymore because it's not popular in the cultural area that you're in. It's time for us to start identifying what resonates with us specifically instead of trying to figure out what resonates with a whole community, because that's not what it's about. That's not what it's all about. It's about us aligning ourselves to our passion and ourselves as well as others in the world, because we have so much to learn from other people. We have so much to connect to when it comes to other people. But if you completely lose yourself, you're going to start finding that it's super hard for you to connect to other people, because you're no longer vibrating at your truest frequency, which is taking you out of whack with the people that you're meeting, because now you're meeting people at the frequency that you're trying to pretend to be, and it's not aligning you to who you actually are. And that's just not healthy. That's not what we want. We want to be in the spaces that we're meant to be. It's just like, if you want to start attracting the tribe that you want to start attracting, you have to vibrate at that frequency yourself. You have to match that frequency yourself. If you're not, you're going to meet people that whatever frequency you're already on, you're going to meet people like that. And if that's not what you're looking for, then you need to become that difference, become that change. Let's see what else we got. We've got I observe and reflect. So it's time to really take a look at ourselves, figure out what we're doing that's not feeding our souls anymore, figure out what we're doing that doesn't nurture us, that doesn't make us feel good, really being aware of what makes us feel good and what doesn't, so that we can align ourselves to an authentic journey rather than one where we're just trying to be perfect for everyone. People pleasing is a big thing for this community that's looking at this video. No longer people pleasing, and a lot of us who may be watching this may be like, okay, people pleasing, I don't people please. But if you are constantly neglecting yourself for anybody else in your life or for the people in your life, you actually are people pleasing. It's when you begin neglecting yourself that you're just people pleasing. You can also do things for other people that feel good for yourself. So if you can find ways to do things for people that also make you feel good about yourself and actually do feed yourself and recharge yourself, then continue doing that. But if you feel drained after spending time with someone, if you feel drained after giving someone energy, if someone always wants to be in your space and just like not giving you anything either, then that's also a clear sign that you're being drained by them. They are literally eating your energy. This doesn't necessarily make that person a bad person. Some people are aware that they're energy vampires, some people are not. It is always good to let people know, like, you don't need to say, you're an energy vampire. Like, no, that doesn't have to be what it's like, but you can slowly teach them how to build their own energy so that they can feed from themselves, just like you do. Alchemy. Oh my God, Alchemy. I don't know which one of you have been reading The Alchemist. The Alchemist is a beautiful book, and I'm not gonna, ruin the story for anybody, but basically whatever you are aligning yourself to, you will welcome into your life, and the universe conspires for you and not against you. If your mind is conspiring against you and you can't control your mind and you can't think more about the things that you do want than you don't want, then you may find yourself in sticky situations. But the more that you align your thoughts to the things that you want, and the more you align your mind, body, and spirit to the things that you want, the more you'll be able to attract those things. And I think that is just such a beautiful thing, that God designed us to be able to align ourselves to the frequency that we desire. That God teaches us that if we want something, we must first practice it, that we must open our minds to it, to receive it. And that just gives me instinctual warmth around myself. Like, I feel warm. And it naturally does that for me. It naturally warms me up just thinking about how God designed us to create our life. And if we really want something and we trust that it could be ours, it will be ours. It is ours. And that is something that we can utilize right now if you want to be the best version of yourselves, or you want to meet people who are great people, you must become that yourself. You must work on that yourself. You must put yourself in spaces that make you feel that way. If you want to be kinder, or if you want people to be kinder to you, you must first be kind. If you want to be around, and there's another way of doing this too. There's also, let's say that you aren't yet feeling successful, you could put yourself in communities of people who are successful, like reaching out to them or hanging out with them or going to workshops, learning the ways of success, becoming that success, embodying that success. And I think that that is beautiful. God is literally telling us, you can do this. This is already yours. If you're thinking it, if you're imagining it, somewhere you have it. Somewhere you already have it. So it's obtainable if you can focus on it. And that's a message that I'm getting to. If you can focus on it, then you can have it. Dreams. So your dreams are telling you a lot right now about yourself. So it's time to get a dream journal. It's time to pay attention to your dreams and listen to them, and just think on them when you wake up, not waking up too fast, not getting on your phone as soon as you wake up. I know a lot of us have that habit. I know sometimes I do have that habit. Thankfully, my social media is really filled with a lot of good affirmations and stuff. So when I wake up, I've designed my Instagram to be filled with positive quotes and stuff, and that's pretty much all I see on that Instagram, because that's what I give engagement to. I don't really give engagement to other posts that don't make me feel good and don't uplift me and don't help me progress. I did have to make a new Instagram for that, and that's what I use my business Instagram for. It's very inspirational, and if you follow me on Instagram at Lena Mystic Oracle, then you know, like, I'm always posting quotes, healing quotes, powerful quotes, loving quotes, because I believe that, you know, heal people, and if I can keep posting healing content, then it can heal others. Okay, so some of us are feeling a little trapped in our life, especially with this entrapment card. Some of us are feeling like there is no way to change, there is no going forward in the situation that we're in. That's up to us to decide. It's not already decided for us. If you feel like you're in a situation where you can't grow forward, where you are ready to go, where you are not being nurtured, where you are not being fed, and you feel like you've already fed off of everything, that relationship, that job, that business, whatever it is, if you feel like it's already empty and there's nothing else left in the pot, you can either choose to fill that pot up or walk away from it. It's totally up to you. No one needs to tell you what decision to make. It is up to you. It's time for you to make that decision. It's time for you to figure out what you want. It's time for you to choose you, you know? So go ahead and choose you in this situation. Do you feel nurtured if you put more into that pot? Will it be rewarding for you? If not, then it's time to walk away. You have to ask yourself what it is that you want for your life. And sometimes we ask ourselves for things, and we ask God for things. Oh, I want freedom, I want freedom, I want freedom. And then it's presented to us and we don't take it. What's up with that? Or we say that we want love, we want love, we want love. But when it's presented to us, we don't take it. Stop asking for things you aren't ready to receive. If you're not ready to receive it, don't ask for it. Don't ask for it. You have to ask for the things you're ready to receive, and be real with yourself. What is it that you really want? Because some of us will say, oh, I want a big house, I want a big house, I want a big house. But maybe you only want a big house because you want other people to view you as successful. Why do you want other people to view you as successful? Because you want to start believing that you're successful. Okay, well, how can we get successful? What makes us feel success? Okay, you want a better job? Okay, let's get a better job that pays more money. Oh, I still want something. I still want something. I don't know what it is. I want something. I want something. The reality is you want to be happy. You want to feel happy. We got to get to the root of the problem. We cannot keep looking at material things thinking that that's going to fulfill us, and it's not. It's not going to fulfill us. So we have to start getting to the root of the problem. What is it that we need to heal inside of us that leads us to believing that this material thing is going to make us what we want? No, it's the inner work that we're going to do that's going to give us what we want. I'm not saying you need to drive a broken down car and be happy. This is not about pursuit of happiness. This is about being real with ourselves and saying, I know what I actually want now. Like, I was talking to my family the other day, and we were talking about how there's a lot of societal standards, especially for each generation, and how you go to school and then you graduate and then you get a good job and then you have kids and then you do this. And what if that's not what everyone wants? Not everyone wants that. So why do we tell our kids, you have to go to college, then you graduate, then you get a good job, and then you get married? Why do we tell our kids that? It's because we want them to succeed in life. And what does that success look like? It looks like happiness. Sometimes our kids are not going to go to college because that wasn't meant for them. Sometimes they're going to just get a job, and a job that they love. Doesn't that mean a lot more? Doesn't that mean a lot more than them just following a pattern that everyone's taking? And there's nothing wrong with people who do enjoy the pattern of going to school, graduating, getting a good job, then getting married. Sometimes life happens. Sometimes people, before they go to college, they get married. Or sometimes before people go to college, they have a baby. Things happen. But there is no one way to reach success. There's no one way to reach happiness. And we have to wish more of that good stuff for our loved ones than the things that just look good, you know? We don't want to just wish the things that look good on people. We want, or ourselves, we want to actually wish for the thing that is good, that makes us feel good, that makes us feel aligned to the goodness that we have within us and around us. So be aware of what you're asking for. Why do you want more money? Why do you want a better job? Why do you want long hair? Why do you want bougie clothes? Why do you want all those things? What do they make you feel? And you can still get those things and it's still okay. But what you're asking for exactly, make sure you're asking through your spirit. You can still have a Lamborghini if that's what makes you genuinely happy. But if you get that Lamborghini and you find yourself still not fulfilled, that's how you know there's something else that you actually want, that you actually crave. So ask yourself, if you are where you prayed for yourself to be years ago, months ago, weeks ago, and you're there, why is it that you're still looking for something else? What is it that you actually want? Just think, if you can practice gratitude where you are, if you can feel completely grateful for where you are, you're already attracting more. So we're working on gratitude right now. We're working on affirming the things that we actually want in life, the things that we actually need. And I have a video on why affirmations aren't helpful and the type of affirmations that aren't helpful versus powerful affirmations, if you all want to watch that, because that is very, very helpful video that I think that people just think you can say, I am, I want, I believe, I feel, but they don't actually resonate with those affirmations. Like, their heart doesn't speak to those affirmations. So how do we create a powerful affirmation and an action to get what we actually want? How do we manifest those things? That's what that video is about. But right now, it's about what you actually want. And you're going to feel tempted. You're definitely going to feel tempted to take the easy way. Oh, I want to just get this and then call it a day. No. There's some work that we have to do to receive the things that we want in our life. And that temptation leading us to doing the easy way that's not actually fulfilling is going to leave us feeling more empty than we were before, because now we just spent all that energy on something we actually didn't want. And now we have it. And now we're like, is this what life is? No, life can be more. Life can be more than that. Life is more than that. I truly believe that if you can get to the root of what you want, you can identify a lot more alignment, a lot more love, a lot more passion in your life. Have faith that this path that you're on is going to lead to more fulfillment. Have faith that you are on a journey that is going to be generationally healing for others, those in your bloodline, those in your DNA. You are going to embody this healing energy that is healing the world around you. And that's a powerful place to be. I mean, you could heal big, large components of the world just by healing yourself. You can heal so many people by vibrating at a healing frequency. You are a healer, and that's also why you feel the need to people please, because you naturally heal people just by being in their space. But if you continue to think that you fixing other people's problems is going to fix yours, that's not actual healing energy. It's time you start healing your actual problems, and then that healing energy that you have within your aura is naturally going to heal other people, and it's going to replenish, and it's going to build. So let's see with this Alice in Wonderland cards. My son and my dog are coming out here. Investigate, look closely, ask questions, and think before acting. So something that you're going towards, you're going to have to ask a lot of questions and see if it's actually resonating, if it's actually where you're trying to go. If someone's offering you something, I want you to pay close attention to the energy that they're giving. It's like, give people an energetic scan. I don't know about that. No, I don't know about that. And then painting the roses red. It's not about just covering up things and trying to make them look like what you want them to look like. We just talked about this. Some people want a certain thing, but they haven't worked on what they actually want versus the material thing that it looks like. So if you can identify what you actually want, you won't have to paint the roses red. The roses will grow red, okay? They're gonna grow red already, naturally. So focus on the actual root of the problem. Focus on the background. Focus on the things that are hidden. Ask yourself questions. Ask spirit questions, and be inquisitive so that you can identify what you're actually supposed to be obtaining rather than what it looks like. You're actually touching on what it feels like, and you're touching on what it becomes and how it actually grows that way instead of making it look that way. Like, there's a lot of people right now, spirituality has become super popular. I'm happy for it, but I'm also a little scared because I think that people have added a superficial component to it where everyone wants to look spiritual rather than actually working on their spiritual journey. And that's just not what spirituality is. Spirituality is about working on yourself, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like, instead they use a different voice when they're doing things. Welcome, it's nice to see you today. No, like, that is not real. You're not being real with yourself. You're not actually using your throat chakra, baby. That's not how your throat chakra sounds. Don't pretend to be something that you are not. And that's a big lesson for today's world. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. The more you vibrate at your truest frequency, even if you think that it's not a perfect vision of yourself or the world, that crap doesn't matter. The more authentic you are, the better the healing experience will be. The truer you will heal, because you're actually identifying who you are and you're healing that. People think that they can just speak a different way or wear different clothes and all of a sudden they've done the work. Nope. Nope. You're still empty inside. Why? Because you're not doing the work. You're showing that you're doing the work to people, but you're not spending that time to yourself to actually do the work. You're not spending time in healing, learning environments to do the work. And I'm telling you right now, that is one of my biggest pet peeves, that people try to act a certain way than they actually are. Why are you acting that way? It's not doing anything for anybody. When you act a certain way that you're actually not, you're feeding emptiness into the world. Why choose to give emptiness when you can give fullness, when you can give something so powerful just by simply being yourself? So be yourself, because that's so much more powerful than being something that you are not. People are meant to learn from you. We are meant to learn from each other, but we cannot learn through BS. Because now you're telling people this advice that you haven't lived through. Now you're telling people this thing to do that's not going to work for them. And I think that's a lot worse than not being your most healed self and giving people advice through something that you've been through. Let them know. Look, I still haven't figured it all out, but I am figuring it out. I'm trying my best right now, but hey, here's something you can try. Here's something that I tried that you can try that might help you. And also being honest with people. Hey, I don't have the answers for that situation. I really don't. But I support you through it. I support you and I love you through it. It's time for us to stop giving advice and not taking it. It's time for us to stop looking at everybody else and not looking at ourselves. I cannot stand when someone doesn't take accountability for the decisions they make. I don't want to hear somebody say, this person did this and that's why I did that. No, this person did this and you internalized it and you did that. You did that because of your own wants, your own will. What other people do is a reflection of themselves and not us, and we have to be real with ourselves. We do things, yes, there are some causes that lead up to us exploring what we want, but at the end of the day, the things that we do are what we want to do. Unless you're being held against your will, force, and I mean physically, mentally, emotionally abused and forced. This is something that you wanted to do. We have to be real with ourselves, because if we don't heal that side of ourselves, we're not going to stop those patterns we don't want to be in. We have to stop those patterns. We have to stop that generational trauma. So if you want to heal that generational trauma, it's time to be honest with yourself about the patterns you end up in your life. If people keep walking all over you, unfortunately, that's a pattern that we're letting people have access to. If people keep draining you, that's a pattern that we are feeding into someone, that we're teaching somebody. If somebody keeps, using money from you, taking money from you, or taking opportunities from you and not giving you anything in return and not meeting the agreements that you've made, and you keep giving to this person, that's enabling. We got to be more real with ourselves. If you're in a suffering pattern, a suffering cycle, and you're aware of what this person is doing and you don't stop it, you are enabling this person. And I think it breaks our hearts to think that people consciously know what they're doing. Sometimes they don't consciously know. Sometimes we really do have to tell them, you're using me up. I'm dry now. I ain't got nothing left. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do about that? Because I ain't got nothing. You telling me you ain't got nothing? The best thing I'll tell you that I've learned in my life is when you notice that you're enabling someone, that you're just giving to them and now you're suffering. And then you stop and you put boundaries and then you see who they actually are. That's one of the best things that I've learned to do in my life. To watch who someone becomes to me based off of if I can no longer give them what they had so much access to. That's when you start to learn how much people truly love you. And honestly, sometimes it teaches you that people love you more after you do that, because they can learn how to fend for themselves. That they can learn how to choose you and you can learn to choose them. You have to give people the opportunity to also choose you. If you don't, then you're always going to wonder, am I truly loved? Am I unconditionally loved? Am I unconditionally adored? If you're always giving handouts out, you're not going to know if you're just access to someone or if you're actually getting genuine love from them. Being needed and wanted are two different things. Two different things. When someone relies on you first before they rely on themselves, it's an unhealthy cycle. What happens when something happens to you? Do you really want people to feel so dependent on you that when you leave, when you change your mind, if something happens to you, that they can't fend for themselves? That they have to figure it all out? That is traumatic. So are we feeding into generational love, health, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we choosing to do? So we have to choose better for ourselves, and we have to think about the ways that we're loving other people, and if they're just feeding from us, or if we really want to teach them and show them and collaborate with them more than always doing everything for them. And I think for this group specifically, you give so much, you give the world so much, but you are running on E. You're running on E. Burnout has become another meal for you each day because you give the world everything. Because you didn't get a lot. Because you felt neglected, you felt abandoned. So by giving the world everything, you feel that you're feeding yourself, but you are running on E. I'm not telling you to stop giving in totality. All you need to do right now is to also think of yourself. Do I have it to give? Do I actually want love from this person? Is that why I like to feel needed? Ask yourself, investigate these questions, these things, so that you can figure out what it is that you're actually looking for from these experiences. Nurture yourself so that when you give, you're not giving out emptiness. And emptiness is also considered enabling. You're giving out emptiness when you enable. So what is it that you actually want to give to the world? What do you want your legacy to be? And what type of impact do you want to have? This is definitely one of those videos where I just feel like silence and just like attunement is needed, because this message is something serious. Something serious. For a healer to be told that you are giving too much, it's gonna hurt, because you feel that that's all you can do. But it's not. You can give to yourself now. It's time. It's time to give to you. You deserve that healing that you've given to the world. It's time. So, I hope you enjoy this next spiritual journey that you're entering into, the spiritual journey of me. Spiritual journey of getting on my feet. The spiritual journey of identifying who I am and who I want to be and what I want to offer the world. I hope that this helps you all. I hope that you share this with another healer that you know. I hope that you find yourself in the spaces that are aligned for you, so that you can begin your healing process. I pray that you trust the journey and you don't fall into the temptation of just offering your full self to everybody. Everyone doesn't need access to you. You are enough just simply being. You don't need to give the world everything. It's time for you to also reap the benefits of what you have to give. Go ahead and share this with your fellow healer. Make sure to like and subscribe so that we can, boost the numbers here and get this message out to more people. I love you all so much, and I wish you happy healing. See you in another video.